Hey guys, so today we have another rare and limited edition video, part 2 for the Ram pickup trucks. For these types of videos, I check out various rare and limited edition models that were put out over the years. Each of these models was given a limited production run, usually available for only a year or two, and they also each had their own cool features specific to the model. If you missed part 1, make sure to check that out in the top right corner or in the description. For today, I've included another 7 models: the Shelby Ram, Indy 500 Pace, SST, Ray Evernham Edition, and 3 rare 2017 colors: Sublime, Copper, and Ignition Orange. If there's any rare Rams that I missed between part 1 and part 2, or there's something specific that you want to see, let me know down in the comments section below and I can try to add it to part 3. So let's get started. We start today with one of the rarest trucks ever, the 1983 Dodge Shelby Ram, of which there is just one in existence. This truck was built as a styling exercise at the Santa Fe Springs, California, Shelby and Chrysler Development Center, and this was made to resemble the prior year's Shelby Charger prototype. This wasn't a Ram 1500 like many of the other trucks in this video, but rather was built on the full-size Ram D150 platform. The truck was basically a Dodge-commissioned Shelby experiment, and it lived on in the personal collection of Carroll Shelby for 35 years. It would end up getting listed for auction in 2018, with just 11,000 miles on it, and it sold for $33,040 US, and it came with Shelby Vehicle Authenticity Certificates that proves the truck was owned by Shelby himself. As for the exterior, the color scheme was a combination of Santa Fe blue and radiant silver with Shelby striping added. The paint continued on to the custom fiberglass tonneau cover, roll bar with off-road lights, side skirts, and front spoiler. The front really stands out with a chrome bumper, brush guard, and custom-made chrome mesh grille that has a big Pentastar logo front and center. Riding on the hood, you can find an awesome Ram ornament logo, finished in gold. The interior was fixed up with Chrysler bucket seats, a CB radio, custom switches for the off-road lights, a column-mounted tachometer, and a direct connection steering wheel. Moving on to the performance, Shelby replaced a 318 cubic inch engine with a 360 V8 on this two-wheel drive truck, and that was paired with a 3-speed Chrysler 727 automatic with a shift kit. This 360 was heavily upgraded from stock with many improvements. Those included new pistons, a 10.1:1 compression ratio, performance camshaft, W2 cylinder heads, 2.02 intake valves, a Holly Street Dominator intake manifold, and a Holly 600 CFM carburetor. All 4 corners would get disc brakes, and the suspension was slightly lowered. The end result was 300 horsepower, which was almost double the horsepower of a stock 360 that would have 175 at the time. The numbers were also very impressive for the early 80s, especially for a truck, with a 0 to 60 in the mid 7-second range, and a quarter mile time in the low 16-second range. Next up is the 1996 Dodge Ram Indy Pace truck, available for just 1 year in 1996, with 2,802 of them produced. There's a bit of a story on how this Ram came about. Each year since 1911, the Indianapolis 500 auto race has used a pace car. And if you didn't know, basically the pace car is responsible for leading the cars around the track for the warm-up laps, releasing the field to start the race, and also enters the track to pick up the leader to reduce the speed of the field if there's yellow flag caution periods. Usually the winner of the Indy 500 also gets a pace car or a replica as well, and the pace car manufacturer treats the event as a big marketing showcase for their vehicle. While the past few decades from 1997 to 2019 have all been GMs, mostly Corvettes and Camaros, the 1996 Pace vehicle was actually a Dodge Viper GTS. There's also an official vehicle of the week at the Indy 500, so for that year it was the Dodge Ram. So Dodge would take inspiration from their Pace Viper to create this limited edition Ram Indy Pace, copying the style and paint job and continuing the sport truck movement. These trucks began their life as a Ram 1500 short bed standard cab, equipped with the top-of-the-line SLT Laramie trim, with the sport package added. 4x2 was default, but 4x4 was a paid alternative. The Indy package would then add another $900 to the purchase price. To replicate that Viper GTS look, the Indy package had the same brilliant blue paint, with white twin racing stripes across the hood, roof, front grille, and tailgate. The stripes are roughly 11 inches wide, and they get wider front to back on the hood, while becoming narrower front to back on the roof. There was also a white Dodge decal on the windshield that matched the stripes, and both the decal and stripes were factory installed. There were also smaller decals for the door and tailgate that read, "Official Truck of the 80th Indianapolis 500", but these came in a box uninstalled. Most owners did have the dealer install the decals after they purchased the truck, but there are also a few that opted not to, and they got rid of them instead. So you might see some Indy Pace trucks without those decals. The interior was loaded up due to the SLT package, adding features like gray cloth seats, power windows, locks, and driver's seat, a leather-wrapped steering wheel, cruise control, sliding rear down windows, AC, and an AM/FM cassette stereo. There is no unique badging on the inside of the truck. As for the performance, the Indy Pace had the 5.9-liter Magnum V8 with an output of 245 horsepower and 345 pound-feet of torque. So this was 15 more horsepower than the other Rams with the same engine, and it wasn't until 1998 that the 5.9 would get the bump to that 245 horsepower stock. So this was more powerful than the other Rams for about 2 years. This engine was paired with a 4-speed automatic transmission as well. Dodge made sure the truck sounded good by adding a sport-tuned MagnaFlow exhaust with a 3-inch chrome tip. To help put that power down to the ground, there were 17 by 9-inch American racing wheels with P275/60 17-inch Goodyear Eagle GT2 tires. While the Indy Pace production ended after 1996, Dodge kept that performance truck theme alive with the SST version, which stands for Super Sport Truck, available in both 1997 and 1998. The demand for the Indy Pace had outweighed the supply for that truck, so Chrysler realized they'd found a little bit of a hit with these customers and continued to make these types of trucks. These included all the same upgrades as the Indy Pace, other than the paint color and the door and tailgate decals. It was available in 4 color choices: black, emerald green, and flame red, all with dual silver stripes, or bright white with blue stripes. Unlike the Indy, these trucks had the SST written on the stripe at the back and the front. Overall, between the 2 years, Dodge would produce 6,278 of these, 3,711 for 1997, and another 2,567 for 1998. So that makes that year actually rarer than the Indy Pace. As you can see by the production chart I made, the flame red was the hardest to find with just 1,153 produced, followed by white and green. Black was the most common with over 2,000 made. As I said, this truck is very similar to the Indy Pace. Dodge would start out with the Ram SLT and then add the SST package, which cost an extra $1,380. That included extras like a color-matching bumper, grille, lower fascia and rear valence panel, tachometer, dual note horn, and fog lights. All the SSTs also include a specialty sticker on the inner door stating, "Built with pride in the USA." The 5.9-liter Magnum V8 with the 4-speed automatic was the only powertrain option available, but the sticker sheet rated it at 250 horsepower and 345 pound-feet of torque. So that's 5 more horsepower than the Indy, although there were no known changes made. These trucks would also get the performance exhaust, 17 by 9-inch wheels, and 275mm wide Goodyear tires. The only difference between the 2 years was that for 1998, Dodge changed the dashes in the Ram lineup, and the exterior mirrors went from chrome in 1997 to a black rounded plastic one in 1998. One third-gen Ram that didn't make it into Part 1 was the Ray Evernham Edition. It was very hard to find information on this truck, and all of the brochures and websites for Evernham are long shut down, so hopefully I've got all the right info. Digging around on some of the Dodge forums, it seems like there are around 100 of these trucks for 2004, and then a select few built in 2005. If you don't know about Ray Evernham, he has been all over the NASCAR world, first being a modified racer, then an auto racing crew chief and consultant for several teams, an ESPN NASCAR analyst, and owner of his own team, Evernham Motorsports, from 2001 to 2010. He was also inducted to the NASCAR Hall of Fame for the class of 2018. To give you some extra details on these trucks, back in 2004, a 3-year contract was signed between Elk Automotive, a car and truck conversion company in Indiana, and Ray Evernham Motorsports to convert some factory Dodge Rams into a limited edition version using Evernham's name for popularity. Elk had hoped to retrofit 2,000 Rams a year, which would have made the contract worth $24 million to that company, since they would be adding about $12,000 of customizations to every truck. Elk ran the numbers, and they figured that there were 3,300 Dodge dealers in the US, and many of them sponsored Evernham Motorsports, so even if a dealer ordered just one retrofit, that would amount to thousands of trucks. As we now know, there were only roughly 100 converted in the end, for select Dodge dealers mostly in the southern and eastern part of the US. By the fall of 2004, Elk Automotive has closed their doors, as the conversion business was doing very poorly. These trucks were available in either crew cab or quad cab, and in black or red. As for the added features, as I've said, each truck got around $12,000 of additions, as Elk Automotive claims. The exterior got an Evernham Motorsports graphics package, and full ground effects kit with molded running boards, fender flares, front and rear bumper covers, and fog lights. The grille was chrome in 2004, but it looks body-colored for 2005. There was also a durable and scratch-resistant sprayed-in bed and tailgate liner, fiberglass tonneau cover with gas struts, and a Mopar chrome bug shield. The interior was really nice, with a racing red steering wheel, dash, and door switch panel inlays. The seats were upholstered in leather, with racing red inserts and red piping, and that racing red theme continued on to the accelerator and brake pedals. Another feature was that there was a working style ignition and light indicators. Evernham Motorsports also had their branding embroidered on the headrests and the custom floor mats, and each truck would have a commemorative dash plate, serial numbered and autographed by Ray himself. Performance wasn't really adjusted much, with this Ram using the standard 5.7-liter Hemi Magnum with 345 horsepower, 375 pound-feet of torque, and a 5-speed automatic. Elk did add some different 20-inch wheels for 04 and 05 with the Evernham Motorsports logo. They also lowered the rear suspension, and they would add a dual exhaust with polished stainless steel tips. I also wanted to include a few newer Ram 1500s on the list, and that's going to be the trio of the Ram Special Edition sport truck models for 2017, including Copper, Ignition Orange, and Sublime. So we'll look at the green first. Sublime was originally one of Chrysler's high-impact paint colors that they would add to spice up their vehicles, back from 1969 to 1973, and this Sublime color, also known as Limelight back then, was around for just 1970. It made its modern-day return on the Dodge Charger and Challenger for just a few years here and there, and for whatever reason, Ram decided to bring it back to their trucks. In 2017, Ram would build 3,000 limited edition trucks in Sublime with an MSRP of $45,740. Only the Ram 1500 Crew Cab with the 5.7-liter V8 Hemi could be ordered with this Sublime package. The Sublime is built off of the Sport trim, so it comes with a body color grille, bumpers, side mirror, and the Sport hood standard. The Sublime is beautifully complemented by some matte black stripes on the hood and matching black badges that are found on the door, grille, and tailgate, including the black Ram's head. Two-wheel drive is standard here, which means for the first time ever, you get 22-inch black aluminum wheels on a Ram truck from the factory, but if you choose four-wheel drive, the wheels will go down to 20 inches. On the inside, the Sublime comes with black cloth and leather seating with sport mesh seat inserts. These seats have the Ram's head and the word Sport embroidered in the headrests, and they were also accented with some Sublime stitching. This stitching continues onto the dashboard, steering wheel, and door panels, adding a very nice little touch. The final piece of green is a Sport badge that's on the glove box. To continue that exterior black and green theme, there's also some anodized black aluminum accents found on the center console and around the 8.4-inch Uconnect system. Along with the Sublime, Ram decided to put out an additional 2 limited edition colors for 2017, which would be Copper and Ignition Orange Sport. Both of these are also very similar to Sublime, and again, both could be had with just the Ram 1500 Crew Cab Sport with the 5.7-liter V8 and four-wheel drive optional. The MSRP would be $45,630 for the Copper and $43,740 for the Ignition Orange. Mike Manley, who was the head of the Ram brand at the time for FCA, spoke about these new trucks when they released, saying, quote, "Our customers continue to enjoy the attention to detail and styling that our designers put into each trim level, and this new eye-grabbing model will not disappoint." End quote. So let's take a look at Copper first. This was the first time this color has ever appeared on a Ram 1500, officially known as Copper Pearl, and it was limited to just 3,000 trucks. Again, you can find the matte black hood stripes and black badges on the grille, fender, door, and tailgate that provide some accents to the Copper colors. On the two-wheel drive versions, there are chrome 22-inch wheels, while the four-wheel drive trucks get 20-inch chrome wheels. Inside the truck also looks beautiful, with deluxe bucket seats with the Copper accent stitching, the same Ram head and Sport embroidery on the headrests, and Sport mesh weave inserts. For this truck, Ram also added some anodized aluminum Copper spears and trim rings that are on the dash, center console, vents, and door panels. There's also the 8.4-inch Uconnect system with 9 Alpine speakers and a subwoofer standard. Ram also reintroduced the Ignition Orange models after they debuted in 2015. These are the most limited of the 3 colors, with just 1,500 being produced. The exterior features are identical to the Sublime and Copper versions, with the black and orange themed look. The interior looks to be very similar to the Copper, as Ram used the Copper accent stitching and seat pads. However, it does look like some of those Ignition Orange models didn't get the same anodized aluminum coloring in various parts of the cabin. All 3 of the Sublime, Copper, and Ignition Orange trucks were powered by the 5.7 Hemi with 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque, paired with a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. These trucks are capable of 0 to 60 in 6.7 seconds, and the quarter mile in 15.2 seconds, using the 4x4 numbers. So that's the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I tried to give you as many details as possible on every model we covered. Let me know down in the comments below which one was your favorite. Also, I should have enough rare Rams left for one more episode, so make sure to let me know if I missed any that I should include for part 3. Thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.